Okay, we are back live. Hello. Morning. I was gonna do some client work this morning, but I realized I didn't actually have the thing I needed to get started on that. So instead, we're gonna do a couple hours now on cleaning up Puffer generally, I suppose. Oh yeah, one other thing I suppose I should show off. We have some very nice experiments in progress. Check this out. All the way up to 25K score. And we have several reaching 32K. I believe we have 65K as well. If I just go to, if I just set this to 20K maybe. Yeah, look at that. We've got a 65K here reached as well. Quite nice. I believe this is like a big model that's very slow, which is kind of funny. But it wins on uptime as well. All right, cool. Okay, let's think about the stuff to do this week for a couple moments, shall we? So this is way better than it used to be. I'd say this is not fully done, but I'm sick of looking at this file for a little bit. Um, okay, yeah, so all these other files are going to get removed, no biggie. I think the test file can get updated now, right? I think the test file is probably the last major Claude thing where we need the model. I know I keep saying that, but believe me, I want these models out of the workflow ASAP. But take a look at this. I mean, this is 2,600 lines of stuff. Let's see what we have in here. Kernels, graphs. Hey, Yannick. Okay, so there's some of these that just get straight deleted, which is nice. Actually, a lot of these are going to just get straight deleted. Yeah. So then this will basically, this will have the kernels, this will have the network forward. The network backward is no longer an isolated call anymore. That's kind of a good thing though, no? We have the ability to just profile the train function a bunch or whatnot. Okay. So because I think that the main thing we need here, we need this to just reflect the latest. So this is going to get like 1,000 lines shorter just off of deleting unneeded kernels. And then we'll still have tests for all the kernels. We'll have to make sure that there are correctness checks. Because what I'd actually like to do this morning, let me show you. A lot of these kernels are just kind of janky. You know, I'd like to start like pulling little bits of this stuff out. They're just pretty redundant looking. I'd like our kernel code to be nice. It definitely needs to be, this needs to be nicer. And let's not just be doing nothing while this is doing stuff. Let's go look at modules CU and let's see what we can improve here. We have a whole bunch of torch checks, right? I think, do these get torch check? So I mean, these definitely do slow stuff down, but they don't get called when you graph. There's probably a flag to disable them, right? Let's see, this is pretty short now. We can just kind of like go through this. So you are allocating, this is allocating memory every time. Let's see. Yeah, this is the one thing that this is usually okay at. Like, this is just like a lot of busy work. I do wonder here, right? Like, we could have this not allocate memory. We could have this just be in place. I don't know how the how AutoGrad would handle that though. Hello, welcome. Yeah, I mean the main thing that I see here is the allocations, right? Wait, if this is a class, what? If this is a class, can't I just make this with the right data shapes and not have to reuse it? Wait, fuse scan checkpoint function. Man, why the hell is there a class for a function? Torch is so dumb. But does Mingru have one? No, see, Mingru doesn't even have one because this doesn't have autograd, right? So for the autograd, it's torch autograd. Let's go look. Torch. Tensor with AT1s will not be differentiable. Tensor with torch ones will be. Ah, okay. But now, I don't understand why. Actually, here. Man, let's figure something out. So, okay, we have a whole big diff to review. Massive, massive diff to review. But this is a quick one because most of this is just deleting stuff that is outdated, right? Deep precision float. Interesting. I don't think... That's fine. We do precision T. Okay, we cast to 32-bit for comparison's fine. Okay, this is all outdated kernel. This just gets deleted. We don't use this kernel. Struct Updates precision. Log cum X, I believe we kept. Scan update precision types. Yep. This one. Yeah, this is fine. I'm just looking if it did anything weird. This is a very easy refactor here. It's mostly just deleting old stuff. View scan backward, checkpointed. Yeah, there are no more launch functions as well. Which is fine because this is a raw CUDA test. This is the way it should be built. This gets deleted. We don't have this entire chunk no longer exists. Precision T. Numerical stability comparison. Hang on, do we need this? Okay, we'll let it do this for now. It's gonna need to, there's gonna be a little bit more to do though. Okay, that's immediately minus 1,000 lines though. I think some of it's gonna go back. This doesn't have profiling for the training now though. It needs to have that. Oh yeah, I also didn't bother checking. Let's just make sure that our experiments are still running and didn't crash. They are. This is 180 or so experiments into 2048. We're gonna have to rerun all the experiments that we're doing now, unfortunately. It's like we're not at the final experiments for Puffer 5 yet. Puffer 4, not 5. This takes way too long. Inhaled a bunch of cinnamon on the top of my drink. This will also replace the end speed test, presumably. Does the end speed test need torch? That's a good question. Why does this need policy.h? I don't think I have. No, I do have no policy.h. Apparently. Wait. This is wrong. I don't even know how that file got there. Which is bad. You should know how your files got somewhere. Okay, there you go. It's using the wrong names. This file shouldn't exist. It takes so bloody long to compile with torch, though, is the annoying thing. Yes, this is the right usage for a policy. This one was dated. We have this correctness check as well, which is good. Should we see what on earth this guy's doing? He's using Puffer for drone stuff.
So I don't even have to look away from my keyboard. And it's kind of funny because it'll like fly above my head and then like kind of dodge me and stuff. And I'll literally feel the wind on my neck.
That's way too
I
loud.
feel the wind on my neck. Fuck, it's cold. Fucking cold. But yeah, like this is yeah, you gotta push things to the limit. So like what is the pushing, like you want a hill to climb, you want a ladder to
That's your daily scene. Funny guy. It seems like he's having a good time building his drone stuff, though. All the fun Puffer infra. Alright. Well, this is weird because I don't even think we have log coefficient values. That's a lot of likes you got there. What? On what? I really haven't posted much stuff at all lately. Oh. Mm. Did this yesterday. This was cool. Think that'll be the side project for whenever I feel like. Oh, it didn't build correctly. What'd I do? Wait. DSO missing. Oh, this is weird. Yeah, just a link flag. Alright, let's see what this does. Now, I really do not like how long it takes to compile everything. And this is, I believe, just because of Torch. That's definitely another thing we're going to want to work on. Unfortunately, we can't run the correctness checks without Torch, right? What on earth? This comes from Veckenv and Ocean. Well, we're including the env, including PufferLib directly, no? Is it the namespace? Okay, so there's a whole bunch of stuff then that's just like not working. Gotta love C++. Such a garbage language. So they're just getting included again. Sure, you can go there. No, we're gonna use the static env. It's always use static env. Nope, Torch has it directly. The hell is this? Like, it still bothers me because I still hate this. This is completely non-human editable. I'm trying to figure out why. Like, where is the jank that's making me not want to touch this? How do I get rid of it? I think it's honestly, it's probably the setup.py build. Is that it? I don't think that's entirely it, though. Okay, so now we just have to, like, this is... and specify an env in here. I'm gonna have to actually, like, take the time to draw out the architecture of Puffer at some point because it's probably way too complicated still. Fine. Nice. This is all getting better, but it's still like nowhere near shippable. I mean, for as long as I'm having to edit my own code with a freaking language model because I don't want to touch it, like, it's not ready. What the fuck is this? You have here. Okay, it's just NCCL. Is it not this? Profiler build X? Yeah, it's torch extensions as libraries. You set up as an extension with libraries. I don't know why. Hmm. Ugh. We can try that. That's super gross, though. Yeah, that doesn't even work. I wonder if it's like bundled with Torch somehow. Like, do we not have a full MCCL install? You know, if we don't, we should just, if this doesn't work, I'm just gonna guard the NCCL. Yeah, same error. We can clean all that up. Yeah, we can definitely clean all that up. Crappy, but for now, we can do this. And then ultimately, well, I suppose it depends what we end up deciding to profile. Obviously, we're not going to leave all these freaking tags in. Flawed. Yeah, this is flawed. I absolutely hate this shit, though. Okay, so this is no NCCL. Let's see if this gets our profiler working. And I think that the move here is going to be... Well, we're going to see what we even need this for in a second. We definitely do want to profile the forward pass of the network, right? Honestly, kind of hard to say. Okay, so our log exp kernel is very bad, apparently. Ugh. Fuse scan. Are these even torch tensors? I'm confused. fail. We also know that this kernel is good. Because it uses the checkpointed one, right? Yeah, this is the correct one then. Let's check in the meantime. Forward call and M speed, right? What's it even do for forward call? This literally copies and pastes the code. So what the hell do we need this for again? We just should not need PufferLib CPP at all. Is what this means. And then we won't have the, yeah, we won't have the NCCL bullshit. Alright, so this will end up working. It's gonna get worse before it gets better, but it'll end up working. And then of course this dict set nonsense. We'll do this with the .ini file. And it'll be fine. Yeah. I think we're using a couple things, but nothing super significant. And obviously, like, the sample actions thing should not be like this. Hey, there's just too much bloody code on this. Yeah, it just needs the same sort of cleanup treatment as I did for PufferLib CPP. And we will be good. 1700 lines. Get it down to like 1500-ish. Oops. Oh yeah, for folks watching, please do star the puffer. It helps us out a lot. We just hit 5K. Heh. This is funny. What are we doing here? Duping precision, that's fine. We can just end up moving that anyways. And we just not have PufferLib CPP included. That fixes most of the build problems. Because PufferLib is where we link in NCCL and such. Yep, we use ini.h. Probably this will get turned into just like a load to dict or whatever. And get rid of all the guards. Okay, that'll be way better. So we don't actually have to build PufferLib CPP on the test. Pretty much just some stuff needs to get moved around so that it doesn't have to be duplicated. And I think that's most of the jank, frankly. Once we move stuff around so it doesn't have to be duplicated, then there are a couple other places where stuff is just duplicated for no damn good reason. And other than that, it's fine. Swade and using Flood. No, Sheep Boy, it's really, really shit. But the problem is Torch is also really, really shit. And it's shit in a way that makes you have like gobs and gobs and gobs of redundant crap. And you actually have to, it's not like if I were just writing C, right? You actually have to do a ton of thinking in order to figure out how to not write gobs and gobs of redundant crap. So while I'm figuring everything out, this is nice because if I specify a single refactor op, like everything needs to get updated in like 10 places. The goal is to get all of the training code and stuff into a actually human editable form so that people don't actually need to be using stupid Claude to edit it. You'll notice if I'm when I'm doing like CEnv work, I'm using it way less, if at all. Like I used it yesterday on a C project, not for even editing my own code, but just for like scraping through a reference repo and like trying to find stuff in a really big other code base. But I think you'll notice the more I have nice, actually correctly written compact code bases, the less I use it. So it's kind of ironic, like the worse your code is, the more helpful the bot is. So it's just like it's basically 100% skill issues, right? Like if you think that it's useful, it's probably because your code bases just suck. Because it's very clearly stupid. And actually, the simpler a code base you give it, the more obvious it is it's stupid because you actually can't easily track the ways in which it is stupid in a big bloated code base because nothing makes sense there anyways. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, we our correctness, it deleted our correctness check on PPO loss. So that's some shit. And there's no way to check sample logits, I believe. With the way the RNG works. Okay. Well, the test works. Let's see where we can go from here. So, is there anything we can do for sample logits at all? I actually kind of don't think so, unfortunately. What else has duped logic? Let's go look. Where we need the bots exactly. So, I mean, the solution to this, right, is to work hard to actually build good compact stuff, which is also much easier to edit and understand, and also makes it easier to solve actual problems. And then basically to tell anybody who wants to introduce a bunch of crap into your project to go fuck themselves. This is kind of the only way you can do anything nowadays. I mean, you basically have all these like LM slot bros declaring victory, like, oh, all of software is automated. Let's move on to the next problems, like in the next year or two. When in fact, these bots are crap and they can't build anything meaningful. They're really good at smoke and mirrors, though. Like, if anything, they're superhuman at lying and deceiving. Because they're basically just trained to LARP. So they're really good at LARPing. Okay, it's fine. I don't see any other duped logic here. I think it was just the sample. We'll check PPO loss real quick. Yeah, all these are correct. Maybe they can be shorter, but at least they're not duping the logic. Static back. Where's this thing? Create M speed args. Where's the .ini? Oh, we don't use it here. Cool, that's fine then. We used it in... Oh, that's... moderately annoying, actually. Moderately annoying. We'll leave this like that, then. Okay, that ought to do it. Then flip this 1800 lines. Then that's most of what we need back. I mean, this is just so messy. I guess we'll see after, like, this type of stuff goes away, right? Just likes to dupe code constantly. Yeah, so all this is just going to go into the models file, I guess. Okay, that's minus a little bit. Why does this need to include the frickin'... Oh, it does need to include the kernels, right? Advantage. Yeah, so this is what we wanted. So basically every single time that we have something like this, it should get a little shorter. Yeah, it's like just too much crap to for each individual test the way I have it here. It's probably just like each module probably just needs a struct, at least for its outputs. I don't know. We'll sort it out though. I mean, despite how annoying this is, we are very quickly getting towards something that's substantially simpler and more stable. I think it is realistic that we end up shipping, excluding this big test file, we could end up shipping about 3,500 lines of code for the new backend. It's a hell of a lot better than the original 6,000. You know? Okay, we know our logcube some X kernel sucks. We actually probably want to add correctness to that. Yeah, we can do this. Log prob. Wait, can we do log prob consistency? We can, right? Isn't there an index op? I don't actually know if you can do this. We'll try that. We'll see if that passes. And then we got the breakout test at the bottom, which is good. Oops. Really annoying that there are warnings in coup de graph.h. Oh, that's not NVIDIA, that's Torch. Heh, of course it's Torch. Stupid Torch. $9.34. Let's say we will finish this. I'll commit this, and then we'll also make a nice pruning commit. We'll just like delete all the old files that we don't need anymore, so we'll have something relatively reasonable to look at. And we'll go from there. And there's some checks. I don't know if the checks are bad though, or the checks are bad or the kernels are bad. I think it's probably just the checks are bad. Not bad. That's another minus 600 lines. The fuck, man? Okay. Good. Very good. So now what we do, let's open up. I want to see what's on the remote version. Hello, user. I want to see what is on my remote version. Lots of garbage. These no longer get used. They've already been moved. Cleaning stuff up, Seb. These have all been moved. We're trying to get a clean commit. Much better, right? vecm.h does not get used anymore, right? Bindings no longer needed. These get used. I believe modules. I think that's all of them. All right, way better, right? So if we look at PufferLib extensions, we've got this stuff in it. CUDA, we've got this stuff. Nowhere near as bad. Still too much stuff, but way less. Way, way, way less. Let's go message. Let's go message one of our new contributors here. All right. I just sent over the latest to one of our contributors. See if he gets anything, if he finds anything to do with that. Okay, for us now. Things for us. It's still the damn PufferLib CPP file, isn't it? But overall, even with all of this, what's this mock C++? Okay, that's just nothing. Okay, even with everything, this is 4K lines. Even with absolutely everything, this is 4K lines. Things I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do the pure C backend. I'm not going to massively refactor pufferlib.h. What are the main things then that we have left? What's the stuff that still bothers me? Let's see if I can figure that out real quick before I gotta go to the gym. Like, it's way better than before. Oh. We're not going to be able to do benchmarks, actually. I forgot we have this sweep is still running. $191 experiments, though. It's pretty good. I do find it weird that this didn't just, like, keep going, right? It's got this perfect score over time curve. Why can't you just run this for longer? Possibly an artifact of learning rate? Learning rate decay? I don't know. But okay, we have breakout. We've got our EMS training. fix this. We did this. Let's do C++ side profiling plus loss logging. That needs to be done. We have multi-Pareto sweep cleanup for sweeps. Pi cleanup. It's difficult. Obviously there's constellation, but we are waiting on that for later. Actually, not a terrible idea to put some time into constellation. Vantage merge is not bad. I'm trying to think about like the real stuff. Profiling. Like, what's the stuff that's really preventing me from feeling like this is close to release? Honestly, the biggest one is probably the M speed still being jank. Like, the M speed is not scaling the way I expected to, and I've had a couple different reports of people saying that as well. So I think probably figuring that out is the most important thing. The rest of it is kind of generic cleanup, very minor feature addition. Yeah, the experiments, but the experiments are already starting to look pretty good. I think it's mostly just the M speed stuff. We're gonna just use the benchmark env and then do M speed profiling. That's probably the last thing in here that really still feels jank, you know? Okay, we'll do that either later today or tomorrow then. I also have client work to get done. I'm waiting on them to send me over one thing. But I gotta start getting ready to get over to the gym. So I'm gonna go do that. 2048 is at 24K score in 15 minutes, 17 minutes, I believe. But it's also at 22K score in 7 minutes. Pretty good. Oops, pop. If you're interested in my stuff and you'd like to support me for absolutely free, star this puffer on GitHub, feed him a star. You can join the Discord to get involved with development, and you can follow me on X for more RL content. Thank you, and I will be back soon.